I just bought my ticket. I gotta go see Superman tomorrow, and I'm surprised. Like, the theater is pretty much sold out. I got one of the, like, the crummy seats stuck in the corner because I waited too long. I was waiting to see if somebody wanted to come with me. And so I've been avoiding spoilers like crazy, but I'm still seeing, like, all these stories where people are calling it, woke garbage and blah, blah, blah. And every time I see people coming for comic books, sci-fi, and, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel Comics, X-Men, like all of that stuff, and they like, oh, it's woke, it's woke. It's always been woke by your definition. Where have you been? Like, Superman being compared to an immigrant has always been that story. Always. He's an alien from another planet that lands on Earth, gets taken and saved by the Kents, who forged documents. Like, in Smallville, they even talk about the fact that they forged documents through a fake through an adoption agency, through, actually, it's Lex Luthor's dad that helps them forge documents, forge the adoption papers and stuff so they can hide Clark, because they're terrified that if the government finds out about him, or the police or whatever, that he'll be taken away. They were hiding him. He was an illegal alien. He was a legal immigrant in the United States, basically, and they were hiding this kid. There's a whole episode of Smallville where Clark points this out to his mother, because she's like, oh, we shouldn't get involved. There's like a whole storyline around somebody who's like being hunted by the police because they don't have the proper documentation to be in the country, and Clark's protecting them, and his mother doesn't want to get involved. And there's a whole speech where he says, like, you did the same thing for me. How is this any different? And then Dean Cain, oh my God, for you to be talking about this and calling it woke and being mad that James Gunn compared Superman to an illegal you were Superman. There's literally an episode in Lois and Clark where the bad guy uses bureaucracy to go after Superman and try and get him deported because he doesn't have a green card. There is a literal scene of that, because Superman has no documentation, because he's Clark Kent, right? Superman doesn't have any documentation. You forgot that fucking scene? Did you, you're so, full MAGA now that you just forget these kinds of things? God, I used to have a crush on you. Disgusted by you now. Jesus, what a fucking disappointment Dean Cain has turned out to be. But seriously, like, I just think the problem is that the far right, man, they keep believing people like Captain America and Superman are supposed to embody all of the things that they believe the United States is. Because, I mean, Captain America and Superman fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. And when they are protecting the vulnerable, when they are questioning their government, when they are punching Yahtzees and everything else, they get so upset because a mirror is being held up to them, and they are not reflecting back the American values that these heroes show, because they don't care about the poor, they don't care about the vulnerable, they don't care about kids, they don't care about any of that stuff. They are the Lex Luthors, they are the Red Skulls, they are not the superheroes. The only superhero that they come compared to is freaking Homelander. And they didn't get that for 4 seasons. It took them 4 seasons to figure out that Homelander is mocking them. And the thing is most of the alt-right, too, are usually young men, or men, right? Who love superheroes and comics and all of that stuff, And when their favorite hobby is not reflecting their mindset, their beliefs, their morals, it upsets them. It upsets them that they don't see a reflection of themselves. Like, you got all these guys walking around with Punisher, symbols on them, not understanding that Punisher does not respect cops, does not respect what they just think, oh, he's gritty and he's a vigilante and but he's not for you. And I love that that in the recent Daredevil, they showed that Punisher does not support police, corrupt police at that. And that ticked off a lot of people too. So trust me when I say these things are not suddenly woke. You just haven't been paying attention. They've always been open-minded. They have always been far beyond their times in their beliefs and morals and seeing the world to be a better place and protecting and speaking out for those marginalized communities. You guys were just so focused on anything but the message that you just didn't see it.